The story I'm told goes like this. A mom is at home putting to bed her 9-year-old autistic son. She has 2 dogs that are in a cage inside the house. So she's at home putting to bed. I think her child is 9 years old. He's autistic. She's putting him in his bedroom. She hears a noise of someone trying to break into her bedroom. She has a gun in her bedroom. Instead of going straight for her bedroom, she goes and lets the dogs out. She has a Great Dane and I think a Boxer. Well, somehow the 3 illegal aliens get in her bedroom, and I guess she comes into the bedroom at this point, and they hold her at gunpoint. You know, these are just this almost never happens because illegal aliens are actually just in this country to just work. So these 3 illegals are in her bedroom with a gun to her. Somehow they I guess they're in the living room at this point. And she's trying to think to herself, she's worried for her son, how do I get to my room and get my gun so I can shoot these people? And she says, they're saying, give me money, we want money. And she says, look, I don't have any money, you can take my big screen TV. And they said, no, money. So she says, look, we sometimes keep money in the bedroom under the mattress. So she gets to the bedroom, she goes near the mattress. She knows she has a gun. She hasn't told them immediately. It's her? Okay, hold on. Are you the nice lady that was robbed?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. Well, then I don't have to tell the story myself. And your name is?
Erin.
This was Sunday night?
Friday, around 8:15, somewhere in there.
And where was your husband?
He was at work.
Okay.
And,
what does he do?
I'm sorry?
What does he do?
He is a vet tech.
Oh, okay. All right.
In an animal emergency. And so it was about 8:15. I just went to put my son to bed. Had all, the bedroom lights on and the TV on. We're laying in bed and our normal ritual thing, like we play in bed and stuff. And then all of a
just
sudden,
to get him to go to sleep. So you're laying in bed with your son, trying to get him to fall asleep. Okay. 8:15. Go ahead.
And then all of a sudden, this big loud boom noise at the window, and it broke and glass flew out, and I have a blanket over that window. And
which window is that?
It's the front window facing the road.
Okay.
It's a long window, so it's about a foot up off the ground, from the floor up. So it's one of those really long windows.
Okay.
And I looked over, and I was like, and then I thought, like, maybe a branch, and then it did it again. And then I just threw the blanket over Caden because I saw somebody start to come through underneath the blanket. And I just took off running.
Oh, you could see them coming through?
Yeah. I couldn't see. I mean, there was a blanket hanging, but I could see like a body come through the window.
Okay. Did you immediately know what was going on?
At that point, yeah. I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to die or something. Obviously, I know somebody was breaking in.
Right.
And I just took off running, screaming, and I wanted to get far away from my son.
Now, Erin, hold on. Were all the lights out in the house?
No, they were all on.
Was the TV on?
Mm-hmm.
So someone would have to know. That's pretty bold. They had to know you were awake and people were in there. And do you live
I
in
feel they were watching me.
Do you live in a house or an apartment?
In a house.
What makes you think they were watching you?
Because of where I was in the bedroom right there, because the back side of my house has a lot of, windows and stuff, and you can see in. I live, kind of out in the country, and a creek backs up to me, and we have a pool and stuff. And
how close is your nearest neighbor? How close is your nearest neighbor, Erin?
He's about an acre over.
Oh, so you are truly all alone.
Yeah, he's about an acre over, and it's woods in between us.
Wow. Okay.
And then I just took off running and went straight for my dogs because I couldn't remember at that moment where my pistol was.
Okay, hold on. Where are the dogs? What
one of them was in the living room. She's an English bulldog, and we have a litter of puppies, and she was in the living room with her puppies. And my Great Dane was on the other side of the kitchen in a crate because they fight. She has puppies, so I have to keep them separated. And I ran straight and let the dogs out because that's the only. At that point, that's all I knew.
Erin,
I had.
can you hold on, sweetheart?
Uh-huh.
All right, So, Erin, quick recap. You and your son are laying in bed watching TV, your nightly ritual, so you can kind of get him to go out to bed. How old is your son?
He's 6.
How close was he to falling asleep?
We just came into the bedroom. I just laid him down. I may have been only in there for about not even 5 minutes.
Now, you have a view of the window they came through where you were laying in his bed?
Yeah, my back was to it.
Okay, but when you heard the second boom, you turned and
Yeah.
looked. You have a blanket over that window, and you see a guy coming under that blanket into the room.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Now, do you cross his path when you go to open the cages to the kids?
No, I just threw the blanket over Caden and started screaming, took off running down the hallway. I never looked back.
Okay.
And I ran and opened up my first dog in the living room. Then I went and got my Great Dane and opened up her crate. And when I turned around, she was already headed in front of me. They were already freaking out because they heard the noise. And I was right behind her and came around the corner of my kitchen. There's 3 masked men standing in my living room and he's pointing a gun at me.
Okay. How many of them have guns?
Just one.
That's some folks right there. Only one gun between the 3 of them. Okay. And they have masks on?
Yeah, it was like, it wasn't like a ski mask or anything. It was thicker than a pantyhose. I don't know if it was like a
They don't even have decent masks, you're saying?
sock or something, but it just, their eyes were showing.
Were they wearing Huaraches or what?
Wearing a what?
How were they dressed?
Long sleeve shirts, blue jeans, and then their masks or whatever they had were like black.
Okay.
Dark color.
All right. So they're pointing the gun at you, and then what?
Pointing the gun at me, and he was like, the money, with a really heavy Hispanic accent. And I was like, I don't have any money. And I just said, the TV is the most expensive thing I own.
What are you doing at this moment? Are you screaming? Are you crying?
Not at this point, no. I'm not screaming. I'm not crying. I try to compose myself to, once I saw that there was 3 of them, it was just like I needed to think about, I keep my gun in 3 places, and at that moment when I ran through, I looked at the other 2 places that I keep my gun. I'm like, hey, it's not there. It's in my windowsill. I need to get to my windowsill. So that was my main focus at that point was I need to get to my bedroom and to my windowsill. How do I do this?
Now, your windowsill, do you just keep it laying on the windowsill?
Laying in the windowsill above my head when I sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uncovered, just there for the quick grab. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's behind a curtain.
Okay.
In the windowsill, and then we were in the living room. He kept telling me the money, and I was going to have any money. And then he turned and walked away. The first guy with the gun, the other 2 were toward more the hallway, and my Dane ran up behind him and bit him right up underneath his butt area and his back legs there. And he turned around and pointed the gun at her, and she just stood there and walked toward him, and she bit the end of the gun, and he pulled it from her. And she just stood in front of me, and my bulldog was running around acting all crazy, and my dogs really made them, nervous, and because they had to keep their eyes on them and me. And then one of them started working that toward the hallway, and I was like, where is he going? Where is he going? And I was like, please don't hurt my son. He can't speak. He doesn't know. He can't talk. Please don't hurt him. And
was your son, obviously your son heard what all was going on?
Yes.
Okay.
He heard everything, but he stayed in his bed and never got out of his bed.
Okay.
And one of them went toward the hallway, and I went through them and followed him, and they just kept pointing the gun at me, and he went to the bathroom. At this point, I started to get really pissed off, and he grabbed a bracelet off the counter that a friend had given me, and I was like, oh, if you want that, that costs $5. If you really want it, take it. And he threw it back down on the counter, and then went down the hallway, and I could see out the window out of the corner of my eye taillights. Couldn't tell if it was a car or truck because it's really dark out here, and couldn't tell if it was a car or truck, and it was going really slow, like 1-2 miles an hour, like it was just idling. And ended up in the bedroom, and I said, sometimes he keeps money under the mattress, and got by my windowsill and I moved my nightstand, and my gun was literally right, the window was high in my bedroom, so it was right close to my shoulder level. And
okay, wait. Slow down. This is the money shot. I want to make sure I understand this.
Okay.
So you have walked into the bedroom under the premise that you're going to get them money.
Yes.
Okay, and they've agreed to this.
Yes, I guess they're just following me or whatever. Like I just said, sometimes my husband keeps money under the mattress. I don't know. And then I just kind of led them, to the bedroom for that reason, thinking that they were going to, I was thinking to myself, I need to get their eyes off of me. I need to figure out a way to get some of their eyes off me because they wouldn't take their eyes off me. to give me that opportunity that I needed.
Okay, so do you go around the other side of the bed, or do you go to the nearest side of the bed?
My side of the bed is closest to the door.
Okay.
So I was up by my nightstand. I moved it over, and I have a really heavy mattress, and I was like trying to move it, and I was just scooting it out so I can have a little bit more room. And I kept saying, sometimes it keeps money under the bed. It's too heavy. I can't move it, just blah, 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 blah. And the smaller of the guys went to try to move the mattress, and he tried, and he couldn't move it very far. And then at that moment, I was just standing there, and they were just looking at me, and they started talking Spanish to each other. And then they got out, the two that didn't have the gun, got out a knife and a brand new roll of duct tape. It still had the plastic on it. And they started taking off the plastic of the duct tape, and I was just staring at them picking the plastic. At this point, I didn't care about the gun anymore. And I was just like staring at that duct tape, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm not going to be that girl tied up, duct taped, and God knows done what to, Like, I just was staring at that, and I said to myself, I have about 4 seconds to do something. And
where's the gunman? Where's the gunman at this point?
It's still sitting in the windowsill right next to my shoulder.
The guy with the gun.
Oh, the guy with the gun. They were all three in my bedroom facing me. And he was by the door, in my bedroom by the door. And then the middle one, they were like lined up, three next to each other in front of my dresser.
Okay.
And then
are you sure that the gun's behind the sheet behind the
Yes. I keep my gun
curtain?
in 3 places.
Okay.
That's where I always keep it, unless it's on me. But those are the 3 places I keep my gun.
And this is a .45?
It is a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson.
Okay.
And I just, at that moment, I just started praying to God, please give me something. I need a split second, just over and over again. In that moment, it's the weirdest thing ever. My 2 dogs just appeared side by side, like just came in full force. And my Dane, she's got such a startling, roar to her. And she just came in, and the bulldog came in, and then they all 3 turned and looked, and they came in and pushing them back. And they
all right,
were,
Erin, can you hold with us for just a moment? All right. This is better than an old Lone Ranger episode right here. Friday night in Tomball just got a whole lot more interesting. This woman, you imagine your wife having to go through this?